Texas is looking for their first Big 12 Conference Tournament title since 2003, when the legendary Jody Conrad was the head coach. Texas went on to a Final Four that year. The last year, they were in the Final Four. We are ready to get started, and Baylor with the first possession of the game. The 4th-ranked team in the country against the 7th-ranked team in the country. Jordan Lewis, the transfer newcomer of the year in the Big 12, to complement Melissa Smith as the player of the year. And Lewis misses the first shot.
Yeah, nice D by Texas, really solid, forcing them to try to make shots over Texas.
Harmon, Shea Holly, Joanne Allen-Taylor. Lauren Ebo has been fantastic in the tournament. She and Gaston really made the difference in the second half against Iowa State yesterday. The veteran Joanne Allen-Taylor, such a steady force for Texas. Asbury, the transfer from Oklahoma State. Lewis, the transfer from Alabama. Complement Andrews Smith and Egbo for Baylor.
Really good start, Brenda, for Allen-Taylor to hit the jumper. The guards have got to make plays from the outside.
Misses that one, but Shea Holly hustles, throws it into the hands of Jordan Lewis. Sarah Andrews, long on the 3 attempt. No touches in the early going yet for Melissa Smith. Vic Schaefer, in his 2nd year at Texas, very familiar with being in a title game, as he did it 6 times in SEC play. Won one SEC championship when he was at Mississippi State. 2-time National Coach of the Year. So much success over the years.
Yeah, and for Vic Schaefer's team, Brenda, you know what you're going to get. Tough defense, stingy defense. You're going to have to hit big shots against Texas.
Rory Harmon, good defense by Lewis. And Lewis goes to the floor. No call. We've seen a little physical play in this Big 12 championship.
Don't say basketball is not a physical game.
And here goes Melissa Smith to work. And how about that? Gaston blocks, but she is called for the foul. An emphatic block attempt by Deanna Gaston.
Well, I think she got a good block on the ball, but I think she hit the side of Alyssa's face, so you got to call it. She liked it, though. There it is. Just her arm hit the side of Melissa.
Gaston, only a sophomore out of Pearland, Texas, sends Melissa Smith to the free throw line. She's just 4 points shy of 2,000 in her career. She has been incredible here in the Big 12 championship. That 37 points yesterday against Oklahoma was a career high. But she makes 1 of 2 from the line to get things started. Texas got here by beating Kansas State in the quarterfinals. Then it took overtime to beat Iowa State yesterday to advance.
Yeah, and they're gonna let Ebo shoot out there. She needs to stay inside and battle, and that's what she did early, but she popped out to come out to help.
Andrews from the corner. Lewis tries to tip it in. Brings it out. Reset. Asbury has been red hot in the Big 12 championship. She hits the first 3-pointer for Baylor.
Yeah, you can't give Baylor second chance points. They're going to capitalize on it. Texas has got to find a way to keep Baylor off the boards.
Lauren Ebo, you saw her miss that shot from about 15 feet out for Texas on the last possession. She was 0 for 1 in the first half yesterday against Iowa State, but she came through big 14 points, all in the second half and overtime. It was a big part of the game. Foul call will send Texas to the free throw line.
Well, they went to work. They made adjustments at halftime. They went to work. They needed to get the ball in the paint, and Ebo went to work. They got her the ball. She scored. She went to the free throw line. She was really, really steady.
Foul was called on Asbury. Joanne Allen-Taylor, a 74% free throw shooter. She was named to the All-Big 12 second team. Is such a steady leader, the senior from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, and you'll see Texas right now immediately get into a denial. Just want to put some pressure on them. And eventually, Brenda, they want to wear you down. Not necessarily stealing the basketball, but we just want you to know their presence.
These two met in a 3-day period of time earlier this year. As Melissa Smith goes to work short, she's fouled on the arm by Gaston, so that'll be the second foul on Gaston. Nikki Collin, as mentioned, in her first season coming out of the WNBA to replace the legendary Kim Mulkey, who went on to LSU. But what a year for Nikki and her leadership and mentorship, especially of Melissa Smith.
Well, yeah, Nikki came to established program, and that's tough, but Nikki's done a great job. She's really let these players play free, meaning she's moved Melissa Smith away from the block. She faces up, she shoots threes, she drives to the basket, giving them more of an opportunity to score.
Smith has made one and missed one on each of her trips to the free throw line so far. I mentioned these two teams played each other back-to-back. It wasn't supposed to be that way. They were supposed to play in Waco on January 9th, and because of COVID protocols, it got changed to February 4th. And then they turned around and played in Austin on February 6th. Baylor won both those games, but Texas played a lot better in the second game, and Rory Harmon was not playing as well then as she is now.
Yeah, she has upped her game right now. She has been a really driving force for Texas. She's not only a leader, Brenda, but she has been their primary scorer.
And a foul called. We're going to go back to Chris Budden.
As for her first year for Baylor head coach Nikki Collin, look at this. First-year head coaches to earn a 1 seed. It's a familiar name on there. Holly Warlick, Pokey Chapman for LSU, Angie Lee at Iowa, Sherry Miller, and Leon Barmore. Some good company.
Cheryl Miller, Holly Warlick, some legends in our game for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love the company that was there. Leon Barmore, wow, what a career he had.
Nikki Collins set to join that legendary group as Baylor projected to be a #1 seed. The selection show will be later today. Everybody will find out their fates. The first time 68 teams will be in the tournament in the women's bracket. A very exciting day in college women's basketball.
Yes, it is. And this game is I'm so pumped for this game. Two solid teams, and the Big 12 has just been fantastic.
Ebo with the foul as Egbo goes to the line. Ebo and Egbo.
I've got to be real careful.
So already 3 fouls on the interior players for Texas. Gaston picked up a couple. Lauren Ebo there, that's her first.
Well, Baylor's doing what they need to do. They're getting the ball inside, and Texas is going to have a really hard time defending. They got to bring the pressure on the ball because one-on-one down low, Melissa Smith and Egbo are really good at posting up.
Gonna need to hit free throws a little bit better. Already 4 missed free throws out of the 6 attempted for Baylor. You know, I always feel like you need to remind everybody, it's the 3rd game in 3 days. So sometimes the legs are a little worn at this point in the tournament. An early start, Baylor with the 1-point lead in the first quarter. It's the Big 12 champion. Natasha Lattimore at the line for Texas. The legendary Jody Conrad, along with Chris Plonsky, in the house. Jody Conrad was so proud of Rory Harmon yesterday after the game. She said 30 points and 0 turnovers.
0 turnovers.
0 turnovers.
That's her kind of point guard. Yeah, Jody was a legend and still is a legend in Texas, and it's great to see that she's here supporting the Longhorns and Vic.
Yeah, I mean, she is right behind. You can see Vic Schaefer's top of his head there. She and Chris Plonsky are right behind the bench. Yesterday when it went into overtime, Jody Conrad was like leaning forward, like taking it all in every moment. It was an exciting game.
Just in case Vic needed some help, he was there.
He can turn around.
He could turn around and ask.
Talk to the Naismith Hall of Famer. All tied up here in the Big 12 championship final. Stepping back, too strong. Neither team shooting extremely well here in the early going. Baylor 2 for 8, make it 2 for 9. Texas just 2 for 6 so far.
And Baylor's taking a lot of outside shots, unlike yesterday, pounding the ball inside.
And a backcourt violation. Well, we've got you covered on Selection Sunday. Bracketology starts us off at 6 Eastern on ESPN with Reese and the guys breaking down the NCAA men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced. Then on ESPN and ESPN2, it's our March Madness Women's Selection Show as we reveal the 68 teams and look at every team and matchup in each region with continuing coverage on ESPN2. And at 10 Eastern, even more coverage of both brackets. As always, you can watch everything streaming live and on the ESPN app. And right now, Charlie Cream projecting Baylor to be a #1 seed along with South Carolina, Stanford, and NC State. And this Texas squad and Iowa State as #2 seeds.
Yeah, pretty impressive that 3 Big 12 schools are in the top, in first seed, second seed.
Lewis rings it up from long distance. A 39% three-point shooter on the season.
Okay, if Lewis shoots like that, then you don't need to get the ball inside.
Asbury and Lewis had brought that outside scoring punch, the transfers, to really complement Egbo and Smith inside. Travel called on Texas.
So now, see here, you bringing help, and no one comes out to get the three-point shooter. Just didn't rotate enough out, and Lewis was ready. Just Harmon had to drop down. Holly was late getting Lewis. Lewis knocks down the three.
Ball just casually thrown away there. Lattimore in the right place. Lattimore, a freshman that Vic Schaefer talked to us about before the tournament. He wants to get her more playing time. She has tremendous upside for Texas. Harmon bumped, and she will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, I love Harmon. She gets her up in the air. She drew that foul. She knows what she's doing. Wanted to go to the line, really wanted an and one.
So Asbury fouled. She will go to the bench with 2. Sarah Andrews checks back in. She talks to Nikki Collin before she goes on the court. Our officials today, we've got a great crew, as you would expect for a championship final. Dee Cantner, Jenna Cross, Lisa Jones are our officials today. The Big 12 honors for Rory Harmon, freshman of the year, all Big 12 second team, all defensive team. And this is a young woman you are going to want to follow throughout her career.
Oh gosh, she just oozes with talent. Brenda, she's exciting. She plays the game hard, with a lot of heart. And there's that pressure that Texas is going to bring, and they've just got to handle the pressure.
Matharu into the game. She had 5 three-pointers in their quarterfinal game. A little more quiet in yesterday's matchup with Iowa State.
Yeah, Matharu's instant offense. She shoots the 3 ball really, really well. They're going to find her on the offensive end.
Melissa Smith only has 2 points so far. Couple of free throws. Joanne Allen-Taylor strips it away.
Wow. Up and down. This is what we love.
Nice dish to Ebo. A little behind, but Ebo banks it in.
Great hands. Ebo was ready.
First basket of the game for Ebo. She had a career-high 17 in the quarterfinals, and yesterday she had 14 against Iowa State. Lewis misses the mid-range. Matharu with the rebound.
Boy, Texas is doing a great job now letting Melissa Smith get position. Smith's got to touch the ball more for Baylor.
Well, pick and roll, and Melissa Smith, maybe a little frustration, fouls Ebo, will send her to the free throw line. Texas and Vic Schaefer's squad always known for their defense. They're making it tough early.
Well, what does defense do? It leads to instant offense, and here they go. They're off. Great ball pressure. Attack the basket. Throw to Ebo. Easy bucket. Turning your defensive effort into offense.
Vic Schaefer always been known for his defense, whether he was Gary Blair's assistant at Arkansas or Texas A&M or the head coach at Mississippi State. But what's impressive to me is that turnover margin. Almost 7 more possessions per game because of the turnover margin.
Absolutely, and their ball, it's about their ball pressure. It is just relentless.
Matharu picks up the foul on the ball. Going to get a look at our first opportunity to see Audrey Warren coming onto the court. Aaliyah Moore is also in for Texas. Warren is one of those players, along with Matharu and Aaliyah Moore, that have started this year. Vic Schaefer really has 8 different players that could be starters.
Yeah, he's got a solid bench, and he uses it, and he uses it in particular ways. Warren comes in if they need a defensive stop. Matharu comes in when they need instant offense.
Sarah Andrews makes the second of 2 free throws. Baylor's already been to the free throw line 8 times, but they're just 3 for 8 here in the first quarter.
Outside, Sarah, outside.
Matharu drives, dishes. Off the mark for Moore. Just rips it away for a second opportunity.
Love it. Moore's mixing it up inside.
And then a whistle by Dee Kantner. Kind of stepped in to calm things down a little bit.
Hey, it's excitement. They're getting a little excited here.
Texas has been beaten twice by Baylor this year. Smith takes it in, scores it, and will go to the free throw line. She's now got 2,000 points in her career, and that was emphatic.
Well, that'll get your big girl excited right there. What does she do? Drive. She does a great job. Little spin move. Draws the foul. Finishes. That is a tough shot.
She ran right over Harmon, who picked up the foul. And the three-point play is done. The family of Melissa Smith, that's a story in itself. Rodney and Nikki, the parents. Rodney the second, her brother. Yesterday at halftime, father Rodney hit the half-court shot and got $6,600 in Phillips 66 gas. It was, it made the entire place erupt.
It brought the house down.
Rory Harmon with another shot to end the first quarter. She does that often and gives Texas the lead going into our second quarter of action. We'll take a look back. What a day yesterday for Melissa Smith's family. Here it is, Rodney Smith, one last chance from half court. Nothing but net. $6,600 in gas money. We're back at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, starting the second quarter in the Big 12 Championship Final. Texas leading by 2. And Chris Budden was listening in on the Texas huddle.
Yeah, Vic Schaefer breaking this one down into 5-minute games, saying we won the first 2 5-minute games. We have 6 more, extremely complimentary of his team in that huddle. The one thing he wants his team to do, finish plays, but refocus. This is game number 3 of the 5-minute games.
Fantastic. We appreciate the report from Chris on the sideline. It's always good to know what the coaches are saying in the huddle. And you being in the huddle for so many of these championship games, you know, what are you trying to do mentally as they go inside to get the score for more? What are the coaches trying to do mentally right now?
Yeah, you're trying to shorten the game, and so he's playing a game within the game. So they're just focusing on 5 minutes. It's not 10, it's not 40, it is 5 minutes. And that keeps their kids really focused and tuned in for what he wants done.
Ball knocked out of bounds. 19 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, Baylor right now. Baylor, get the ball to Smith. She's only touched the ball. She shot the ball twice. The guard play, I love Baylor's guard play, but right now you need some buckets from Alyssa Smith.
That one's off the mark. Baylor 4 for 13 in the early going, and only 2 shot attempts, to your point, Holly, from Alyssa Smith.
Yeah, Texas is doing a great job. They're keeping a body on Smith. They're being physical with her, keeping her off the board. She hadn't had a lot of second chance points.
Matharu bounces over the backboard. Here's our NBA Sunday matchup tonight on ESPN in the app. LeBron and the Lakers are in Phoenix to take on Devin Booker and the Western Conference leading Suns. The Lakers are 9th in the West, only a month left in the season. Last time they had back-to-back wins was January 4th and 7th. Our coverage begins at 9 Eastern. Caitlin Bickle into the game, an offensive foul, and of course, Audrey Warren was in the middle of it.
Well, Audrey Warren was on her. Bickle just extended her arm, just right into it, just pushed her down, and it's tough. Warren is she is on the ball pressure, and you better take care of the ball, be under control, or you're going to get a foul call.
And Caitlin Bickle's going to get a lot of attention today because she had a career-high 21 points yesterday in their semifinal win over Oklahoma.
Yeah, she played so smart, got second chance points, hit big buckets for them.
Ball up high. Moore retrieves it, and a foul called on Alyssa Smith. That's the second foul on the All-American.
Yeah, that play is by design. The guard comes in, post goes opposite, you just throw the ball up. See, throws it up, post goes and gets it. Smith just needs to go straight up. Once you break that pump plane, pull your hand, they're going to call a foul. Smith's got to be really smarter than that. Make her make a play over you.
Well, Nikki Collin has to put her on the bench with 8:12 remaining in the second quarter. We'll see if she ends up bringing her back in here in the second period. Aaliyah Moore at the free throw line, the freshman out of Moore, Oklahoma. She was preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year, but she was out 8 games from November 21st to January 5th with an injury and just coming back. And, I mean, she started the first 3 games of the year, but it's been slow to come back. But you see what potential Aaliyah Moore has.
Absolutely. Great pass.
Gets away from Egbo, and then Egbo commits the foul, so foul trouble early. That's the second foul for Egbo, so now both Queen Egbo and Alyssa Smith have 2 fouls for Baylor.
Just what quick hands. Texas just quick hands. Got their hands on it. Egbo just trying to keep her balance. Kind of pushed Harmon down. She said, I didn't mean to.
Joanne Allen Taylor off the window.
Yeah, Texas is doing what they want to do right now on offense.
And quickly the other way. Big strike for Jaden Owens in Baylor.
Love it. Quick outlet, get down the floor. Texas is trying to press you. You go long, attack the basket.
A little life, a little lift for Baylor. It's interesting. Baylor yesterday against Oklahoma. Oklahoma had beaten them twice during the season. Baylor came out with great energy, with a wanting for a little revenge, right?
Absolutely.
This game, they've beaten Texas twice, and not quite the energy from Baylor that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, they don't have as big a pep in their step right now, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Can it happen? Absolutely, but you got to be really tuned in. You got to be really focused. You got to forget about those 2 games.
Nikki Collin in her first year at Baylor, Vic Schaefer in his second year at Texas. It's been a rivalry for a long time. Baylor has won 13 straight in this series. Vic Schaefer says, hey, it's only my second year.
That's right.
You know, none of these players care about that history.
That's right, exactly right. And now Queen Egbo, you can't put it, if you put it down, you got to go somewhere, because if you dribble, those guards are going to come in and swat it.
Lewis from the corner. That's her second three-pointer of the game. She's got 8 points.
Yeah, she's just tough-minded. She's willing to step up and make the big play and hit the big shot.
Tough shot inside for the freshman Aaliyah Moore.
Tough shot. And Egbo did all she could do, just go straight up. Moore had a great move to the basket.
Bickle.
Look at the physical play inside, I love.
Egbo staying in with 2 fouls for Baylor. Bickle off the mark.
Texas is doing a textbook on boxing out, only allowing 1 shot for Baylor.
Moore, straight away that time.
Yeah, it's good for Texas when that goes in, because that's not really Moore's shot. But listen, they'll take it.
8 points already for the freshman.
Yeah.
And a foul called on Matharu.
Just can't do that. I mean, you're boxing out, but just can't go back into the shooter.
Alyssa Smith checking back into the game with the 2 fouls, replacing Egbo with 2 fouls. Lauren Ebo comes back on the court for Texas. She replaces Moore, but what a job for Aaliyah Moore. She's barely scored here in the Big 12 Championship so far, and she's already got 8 points.
Yeah, she's gotten the ball, Brenda, because she wants the ball. She is doing the work before the ball gets there. She's making it look easy. When you do the work before the ball gets there, you better get the basketball. The guards better get you the ball.
So Owens is fouled on the 3-point shot, made 1, missed 1. And makes the 3rd. Five-point lead for the Longhorns. Approaching the 5-minute mark remaining in the second quarter. Texas hasn't won a Big 12 championship title since 2003. Some of these kids probably weren't even born then. Harmon, she's going to continue to light it up.
And Harmon just, gosh, look at her elevation. Kid can jump.
Off the mark, Baylor, another possession, no touch for Nalissa Smith.
Yeah, you got to get her the ball. You're struggling to score from the outside. Go to your go-to sure bet, Nalissa Smith.
Harmon. Back inside to Lauren Ebo. Nope. Nalissa Smith with the board. She can go coast to coast. Smith turns on the Jets, goes right at Harmon and commits an offensive foul. Third foul for Nalissa Smith, and she comes up hobbling.
Well, you talk about hook 'em. Harmon has got it going on right now. She puts the pull-up jumper, and you know what? She does what she does best. She comes down here. She takes a charge on the big girl. That had to hurt.
That contact. She has not come back out yet. As soon as I get more information on her status, I'll let you know. But listening in to Nikki Collins' huddle, telling her team, we're just playing completely out of control. We have to settle down, communicate, and be able to watch where the help is coming from.
There's a look before at Melissa Smith, and obviously Baylor fans very concerned. It's good to see her walking off of her own strength there. But it's the biggest lead of the game for Texas, Holly. I mean, this Texas team has come out and they've done exactly what they've wanted to. We know Melissa Smith's family concerned about their daughter, the injury, the 3 fouls so far. But what a game so far for Texas.
Yeah, Baylor just is out of sync, and that's from Texas's ball pressure, inside pressure. They just can't get any flow.
They're going to need to have a few of those. Jordan Lewis has already made a couple of three-pointers, misses that one.
Yeah, it's just a one and done. If they're going to shoot that and shoot that early in the clock, they got to get second chance points, and Texas is doing a great job of keeping them off the boards. Solid defense by Baylor.
Shea Hawley is fouled. You're going to call that on the shot. But that is good to see. Melissa Smith walking back into the arena. She does have the 3 fouls. We certainly won't see her here in the second quarter, but good to see her back.
And I'm sure her parents are glad to see her back too. And Baylor needs her. They need her on the floor. We won't see her this quarter, but hopefully they'll go back in for her and regroup, and she'll be ready to play in the third quarter.
Shea Hawley at the line, made 1 of 2. 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Biggest lead of the game for Texas. Jordan Lewis muscling it up inside. She's got 10 points to lead Baylor, and Melissa Smith being comforted by her brother, Rodney, on the bike right now. Hawley raises up.
Great jumper, just went over the defender.
We have seen the athletic ability of Shea Hawley on display throughout this tournament. Her dad played for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're in Kansas City. Got to meet him the other night in the hotel lobby.
Nice move.
Jordan Lewis now with 12 for Baylor.
Lewis is kind of taking this team on right now. She's using the screen, attacking the back, but they're getting paint points, and that's what they need right now.
Dribble drive offense for Texas. Vic Schaefer's team known for that. And a 3-second call on Moore.
Yeah, you got to get out. And Moore was thinking that they were going to penetrate and pitch to her.
Well, Aaliyah Moore, we mentioned earlier, she hasn't scored at all in the first and second round games, the quarterfinals and semifinals. And she comes in and she matches her career high 10 points here in the first half of play.
Well, she's saving it for the big game.
Block. Jordan Lewis goes to the floor hard, but it will stay Baylor basketball.
Texas's defense is a little salty right now. Wow.
Stolen by Audrey Warren.
Just can't get the ball in bounds. I'm so impressed with their denial, their energy on defense.
Texas has not beaten Baylor since 2017 as a program. Rory Harmon knocking this down. I mean, this performance here in the early going by Texas, very impressive for the Longhorns as they're up by 10.
Well, what do you do? The ball doesn't go in the hole. Baylor needs to come down here and ramp up their defense. They're very capable of that. They just can't let their offense affect their defense.
Egbo pushed in the back by Aaliyah Moore.
Yeah, and I love Egbo. Look to her teammates and go, we've got to settle down. And she is spot on. Just settle down. It's the second quarter. You're all right.
And Nikki Collin talked to us about what a energy force Queen Egbo is. She's the experienced one on this roster, right? She helped lead this team to an Elite Eight last year as she scores that one.
Yeah, they feed off her energy, and right there, great drive to the basket. Went through a lot of traffic, got bumped, got hit, didn't get emotional, finished the play.
Under a minute to go in the second quarter. Moore going to work on Egbo with the 2 fouls. Holly tipping it in. Shea Holly with another basket for Texas. And a steal. Baylor dodges one there.
Egbo, great defense, but Bickle did not rotate down. Let Holly come in and get a second chance point. You cannot do that. Heads up play by Holly.
About a 5-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Lewis weaving in through traffic, draws the foul on Audrey Warren, and will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, nice attack, attacking the basket. Lewis is doing a great job.
Looks like Nalissa Smith will be going back to the locker room a few minutes ahead of both teams leaving the court. She's got the 3 fouls. She had the injury when she ran into Rory Harmon as she was driving down the court. Lewis makes the second free throw. 12.5 seconds left. Rory Harmon has scored a lot of buzzer beaters here in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, anticipate she's going to make the shot.
Picked up by Egbo. Throws it up and gets it. Just like we thought. She's beat the buzzer several times here in the Big 12 championship throughout. A smile on her face. She gives Texas the 11-point lead going into the halftime.
Basket, and I don't know if they hit knees or what, but yeah, it'd be great to see her. It's good to see her back on the court.
So Rory Harmon leading the way for Texas with 12, including that buzzer beater before halftime. Nalissa Smith only 5 points and 3 rebounds and 3 fouls. Paint points in favor of Texas. Baylor already 8 turnovers.
Yeah, and Baylor goes immediately trying to go inside, and that's what they need to do. They're trying to move the post. So Texas can't muscle down low, so they're moving the post, trying to create that opening there.
So if you're Texas and you have this 11-point lead, what do you need to do?
Well, continue to control the tempo. They're doing a great job, and continue to bring their toughness. They are playing so tough right now.
And they draw another foul on Baylor on the jumper. Egbo picked up the foul. That's her 3rd. And it sends Joanne Allen Taylor to the free throw line.
Yeah, Egbo needs to be smart. I mean, you got to stay in the game, and you need your 2 bigs in there, and can't get in foul trouble.
So now Nalissa Smith and Queen Egbo both have 3 fouls for Baylor. The 28 points that Baylor scored in the first half, their lowest offensive output. No, not the lowest, but it's the biggest deficit that they have had at halftime. Down 11 is the biggest deficit for Baylor at halftime this year.
Yeah, you just got to chip away. Baylor has the talent and the ability to close that gap. Just got to be smart.
Jamie Asbury short, and it gets away from Queen Egbo. The poise by this young freshman, Rory Harmon. Boy, we interviewed her after the game. She gave one of the most mature, exceptional answers to a question that you've ever heard from a student athlete.
I just wanted to come over to the table and give her a hug.
I know. I mean, just so impressive.
Just very impressive and very humble and excited for her team, and that's so good to hear.
Baylor has to get Nalissa Smith going. 25 points. The first time these two teams met for Smith, she scored 28 points in Austin.
And there's the paint point touches in there.
And there it is, Egbo scoring inside. She's got 4 points. Baylor needs a lot more from her.
Absolutely. Now let's let this offense ramp up your defense right here.
Gaston is back in the game for Texas. She picked up 2 fouls early for Texas, but Aaliyah Moore came in and really picked up the slack. Jordan Lewis is slow to get off the deck as there was another collision. It was Jordan Lewis' first foul.
And Alan Taylor, boy, she turned the corner. She put her head down. Lewis was just there late. I like Lewis's effort, but you gotta get still.
Here comes Holly around the screen, showing again her explosiveness.
And out of bounds plays for Texas are so important. They want to try to get 8 to 10 points from out of bounds plays, and that was ran to perfection.
Asbury hits the mid-range. Shea Holly has had some impressive block shots, some big rebounds for Texas, but she hadn't shot well. She was 1 of 8 in the tournament coming into today.
Well, that's a charge,
and
yeah.
She commits a charge, but she was 3 for 3 from the field before that charge. Let's look back at that inbounds play.
Yeah, so this is run to perfection. So you see Holly over in the corner here. And so she just loops around, comes off the screen. Egbo wasn't ready. Made it look easy.
And commits the offensive foul on the next play.
Coaches get excited about those out-of-bounds plays, especially when it's that easy.
Do you like drawing up the out-of-bounds plays?
Love doing it. I love doing it, and you get excited. Yeah, it's fun when it works.
Another turnover for Baylor. They've got 10 now.
Baylor's just out of sorts right now. There's just no flow in what they want to do.
How much of that is because of Texas defense?
Oh, absolutely. It's just taking them out of everything they want to do. The ball pressure, it's just relentless. And so not only do you have to worry about where you want to get the ball, you got to worry about taking care of the ball because that ball pressure is so tough.
Now the officials come together, Jenna Cross and Dee Cantner, and talked about that and said it's actually Texas basketball. Everybody had already gone to the other end of the court, but they signaled Texas.
Yeah, it looked like was Vic Schaefer in that conversation? Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, that was a good call.
Mafaru into the game, tries to slide it between the defenders, but Sarah Andrews is there, throws it up high for Smith, and Gaston is having none of that.
Yeah, even if that was a good pass, that's a tough catch for Smith. It's just in traffic, especially when her knees hurting her. That's hard.
I mean, we see so much high-flying acrobatics from Nalissa Smith, but that wasn't one of those times. And boy, Gaston has really been emphatic about a couple of blocks on Smith today.
Yeah, she's kept a body on her, Brendan, and hasn't let Smith free up. So that's her assignment. She knows where Smith is at all times. So,
and Smith touches it last.
God, and that's one of the few times Smith got inside position. The ball just bounced out of bounds.
Mafaru, Texas needs her to get going to complement the other things they're doing. Andrews, right by Mafaru.
There you go, Andrews. Get a steal, attack the basket. I love Sarah Andrews' play. I think she's going to be so good. The more she plays, the better she gets.
All Big 12 second team for the sophomore out of Irving, Texas. Baylor back within single digits.
Baylor needs to get a big stop right here.
Harmon, nice little jumper.
Yeah, Harmon's not having it.
14 points now. Harmon is 6 for 7. The freshman is 6 for 7 in this Big 12 championship final.
We're here. She's playing great defense. And she's leading her team. She's the point guard.
Baylor in their 11th straight title game as a program. They've won 9 of the last 10 Big 12 championships. They've run 3 in a row. Texas hasn't won since 2003, and they don't care.
Yeah. Baylor, you got to sprint back. You missed a shot. You didn't get the rebound. Sprint back. Listen, Texas is going to run all night, and they're going to make when there's numbers.
And we are going to be able to hear from Charlie Cream coming out of this next timeout, and very interested to hear what he has to say. He said Baylor would stay a #1 seed unless they have a bad loss in this championship, and it hasn't been the best effort from Baylor, as it's a shot clock violation on Texas because Baylor never got possession there. Appreciate that report from Charlie Cream, and it's interesting because Texas coming out with so much energy in this game. They've got a 13-point lead. There's some energy there. Gaston with an offensive rebound and putback, and here's what Charlie Cream was talking about.
Yeah, Baylor's got to step it up. They've had a good, solid year, but they're just not playing very well right now. Texas, on the other hand, is really securing this #2 seed. They've come out with just on fire, and they are relentless, and they haven't let up.
Texas on a 10-game winning streak right now. They beat Stanford in the non-conference. They had a couple of stumbles early in Big 12 play, but they have regrouped. They're the #3 seed in this Big 12 championship, but they are playing their best basketball right now. Alyssa Smith is back in the game with the 3 fouls, but Holly, her last field goal that she made was at the 26-second mark back in the first quarter.
Yeah. She's got to do more to want the ball, and Baylor's got to get her the ball.
She had 37 points, a career high yesterday in the semifinals. She was kind of looking for the ball off that pick and pop, and Lewis shot it, missed it instead.
I mean, get on the horse that brought you here. She's got to get touches. If she doesn't get touches, then you stop working. Baylor's got to get her the ball.
Swatted away by Jamie Asbury. Here's the easiest basket of the day for Baylor.
Now let's get it going, Baylor. Let's let that right there get you fired up.
I mean, this pace seems as if Texas is in complete control.
Oh, they're totally controlling the tempo with their defense, and then they're just running set offensive plays. It could be emotion, but they're taking their time. They're getting deep in the shot clock to get a shot off.
Winding it down again, 5 on the shot clock. Joanne Allen-Taylor stepped through, hits the rim.
Here we go.
Melissa Smith out in front, scores it, her first basket since the first quarter.
Gosh, she was shot out of a cannon right there. I don't think anything's wrong with her knee.
That's what Baylor needs to get some energy here. They're within 11. Gaston. The battle for the rebound. Baylor basketball. Let's look back at that Melissa Smith break.
Oh yeah, good defense. And watch her, she takes off. She wants it, calling for the ball. Lewis did a great job of delivering, catch, score. You love a big kid going down the floor, running, calling for the ball, finishing the play.
Well, it's totally possible that Melissa Smith could take over the game and score 20 points in the last 12 minutes of the game.
Well, that's what talent. That's how talented that young lady is.
So will they get her the ball? She gets it here. Baseline, hangs in the air. Boy, good defense by Texas, but Bickle there for the board.
It's all right. It's a touch. Do you see how many people she drew? 2 people.
Lewis bounces it out of bounds. Nikki Collin frustrated at that turnover. She had Bickle on the baseline.
Just didn't deliver it. Just didn't deliver it. Thought Bickle was going one way, and Bickle was late getting there.
Texas on the year forces about 22 turnovers a game. Here in the Big 12, it's just been about 13 and a half for each team that they've played, but already 13 turnovers for Baylor.
Now look how hard Texas is going to they're turning the, watch how hard she goes to the basket.
Navarro puts it up for Ebo, but she commits the offensive foul because Bickle was waiting for her.
All right, Bickle, let's get her going too. And so look how hard, and just comes over to help, sacrificing her body. Great job.
So Baylor has an opportunity here to draw within single digits, and this could make it awfully interesting in the fourth quarter, but a turnover again for Baylor.
Yeah, just trying to play a little too fast, and Texas's defense has just been solid. It's just been solid. And this is the part, Brenda, Texas controlling the tempo. Gonna get late in the shot clock again.
About a 5-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Ebo with inside position has it taken away, but Jordan Lewis was there for the foul. That's her second foul.
I love that pass. I love that buddy pass. Just going high-low. There's no help side. And then Lewis had to come over and commit the foul.
So Lauren Ebo, only 3 points today. She's been in double figures in each of the first 2 games in the Big 12 championship. Vic Schaefer has talked about how much she has improved in the last month. She's the most improved player on this team.
Yeah, and she brings this team energy, which I love.
And how about energy from Moore? She gets the rebound, but can't put it back in. Baylor has a chance. Asbury at the buzzer, got it! Jamie Asbury hits the 3 that draws Baylor within single digits. Here we go.
Here we go. How quick did that ball get down the floor? Watch the rebound. One pass, one dribble, shot. Bam! We got a ball game.
Texas led by, and the basket is confirmed. Texas is led by as many as 15. It's cut down to 9. Even more coverage of both brackets. As always, you can watch everything streaming live and in the ESPN app. And now let's go to Chris Budden, get her report out of the Baylor huddle.
About as confident and as poised as I've seen this huddle so far. A lot of confidence coming out of there. The one thing they want them to work on is their timing on the offensive boards.
Well, Baylor's defense has held Texas scoreless for now about 4 minutes. Aaliyah Moore taking it at Smith. Hits the bottom of the rim. Oh, but unfortunate for Baylor. It goes out of bounds on Baylor.
Wow. Well, you said it. Baylor stepped up their defense, and so when you struggle to score, you bring the heat on the defensive end, which leads you into an easy bucket.
An offensive foul called on Texas. That's on Lauren Ebo. That's her 3rd foul. And Vic Schaefer probably needs to be concerned right now.
Yeah, Ebo's got to stay in the game because she's done a great job defensively on Bickle, on Smith.
Here's Melissa Smith, rises up. Too strong. Smith now 2 for 5 from the field. She got in foul trouble in the first half. She went out with an injury when she committed an offensive foul on her third foul, but she's back and scored a basket in transition. But Joanne Allen-Taylor hits a big shot. That's the first shot for Texas in over 4 minutes.
Yeah, they needed that. And go back to Smith. It's okay. She got a good look. She just missed the shot. Go back to her.
Baylor has not led in this game since the first quarter. At the 2:55 mark in the first quarter, they were up 10-9. They're chipping away, and their All-American will go to the free throw line.
Is so smart, so throws out to Lewis, and Lewis, a heads-up play. She comes out and passes, looks to screen. It makes it look so, it just slips the screen, goes in. Yeah, great look.
And that's the fourth foul on Lauren Ebo, so she will be replaced by Gaston. Baylor has not taken advantage of their trips to the free throw line today. They are 7 of 14 as a team. They haven't shot below 50% from the free throw line in any game this season. So Smith gets them over 50%. And she connects on both. Melissa Smith now with 9 points. Jordan Lewis and Jamie Asbury both in double figures for Baylor with 13 and 10 points respectively.
Just coming off a stagger string, trying to get it to Harmon.
And Harmon leads Texas with 16. They've got 10 for Joanne Allen-Taylor, and Aaliyah Moore has 10. Too strong that time. Gaston, though, commits the foul, trying to swat it away from Melissa Smith, and that's going to be the third foul on Gaston.
Yeah, Asbury has really stepped up her defensive play against Harmon. Harmon didn't get a good look, and that's because of the ball pressure by Asbury.
Asbury, the transfer from Oklahoma State. She transfers from the Cowgirls. Jordan Lewis transfers from Alabama to add to what Baylor already had in place.
Nice.
A little too hot to handle, and Melissa Smith frustrated.
Good look.
We'll have a special NBA Monday doubleheader on ESPN in the app, loaded with all-stars. Jokic and the Nuggets are in Philly to take on Joel Embiid and James Harden and the Sixers at 7:30 Eastern. Then Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz host Giannis and the Bucks. 4 of the top teams in the association. Our coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern.
Look at the battle inside. Just a great battle.
And Melissa Smith clears the board. She's got 6 rebounds, but she throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, I like that hustle. Just settle down, unforced error, settle down. You got 7 minutes. You're okay.
And sometimes that's hard to remember. That's a lot of time.
Yes. It is hard to remember because you're just looking up the scoreboard and you're going, we're down. You just chip away.
Had 2 turnovers Baylor has the last 2 possessions. Big rebound by Aaliyah Moore. Man, she has come to play. Did not score a point in either the quarterfinal or semifinal, and she's going for her career high with this free throw.
Well, she did what you're supposed to do on offense on the rebound. You anticipate. She just kept moving. Bickle had her, but she didn't stop. She bounced off that box out and went around and got the bucket, got the shot, and was going to the line.
67% free throw shooter. The freshman out of Moore, Oklahoma. She was the 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oklahoma. I mentioned earlier, high hopes as she was the preseason Freshman of the Year, but an injury derailed that as she missed 8 games in the middle of the season.
Well, she showed up on championship day. She's played well.
Such a talented core of freshmen for Vic Schaefer.
They're playing really well together, young in some spots, but really showing great poise in this game.
Alyssa Smith going to work. High off the backboard, yes. She's in double figures now with 11.
Yeah, out of a horn set, just get out of her way. Set a little rub screen and drove to the basket.
Expect to see more of that coming down the stretch.
Absolutely.
Matharu, too strong. Alyssa Smith just snags another rebound. 7 rebounds. Jordan Lewis, no, but she will go to the free throw line. Let's look at Alyssa Smith do her work.
Yeah, and look at there's always a body on her. There's a body on it and just rubs that screen. That's a tough shot, but that's her shot. She makes that shot. Boy, did you see Lewis, her acceleration to the basket? I love the change of speed and just accelerates by the defense.
She misses that one. Lewis has 13 points on the day, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for the newcomer of the year in the Big 12 that misses both free throws.
Yeah, Brenda, you're so right. Free throws are going to haunt Baylor. They've got to get to the line and make shots.
Matharu, no. And Smith again. She's gotten every defensive rebound lately. Boy, in traffic, what a tough pass for Bickle. She was in between 3 Longhorns.
Yeah, great pass. And Nikki Collins, I thought, was going to run out and tackle the official there for not calling it. But just in traffic, that's just a hard pass to catch and get the shot off as well.
Harmon hasn't scored in a while, so it's her time. 18 points for the freshman.
That kid doesn't have any fear. She's going against Smith and didn't even hesitate.
I mean, she is working herself into, if Texas would win this game, she will be the most outstanding player.
Well, yeah.
And she's doing it against the 2-time Big 12 Player of the Year in Alyssa Smith.
Yeah, she's just playing the game. This is just another game for her.
Smith, easy basket inside. Baylor hasn't been able to chip away any closer than 9. They have an opportunity here. Smith. Nobody stops her this time, and all the way to the rim. It's a 7-point lead now for Texas.
Yeah, Smith said, I'm not giving it up. Yeah, I am taking this game.
Harmon, can she answer? Asbury all over. Alan Taylor defended by Lewis.
Great defense.
Asbury almost is able to steal, but it ends up in the hands of Matharu. Cold-blooded 3.
Ooh, that'll break your back.
First basket of the game for the leading scorer on the year for Texas. Aaliyah Matharu, and couldn't have come at a more important time. Bickle blocked by Gaston.
Yeah, wow. Gaston I love to see her block. What energy. Get it out of here.
And Texas, as they've done all game long, content to slow this game down, shorten it up, not let Baylor get in their pace. Alan Taylor stepped through, she scores it. Baylor had gotten to within 7 points, and the answer from Texas. Texas up by 12 with 3:05 in the game. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball, the 68 teams, and look at every team and matchup in each region at 10 Eastern. Even more coverage of both brackets. As always, you can watch everything streaming live and on the ESPN app. Baylor right now projected as a number 1 seed. Texas and Iowa State in the Big 12, both number 2 seeds. And NaLyssa Smith draws this game within 10. Baylor has 2:44 to overcome a 10-point deficit. Big 12 championship is on the line.
Baylor's got to, they got to pick it up because Texas is just going to control this tempo, try to run the clock, get a shot deep in the shot clock.
Texas misses. Here comes Jaden Owens. She tosses it out. Three-pointer, good. It's a 7-point deficit Baylor has to overcome.
Whoa, she elected not to pass it ahead. I love it. Asbury spotted up, got her the ball.
Asbury now with 13 points for Baylor. Under 2 minutes to go for a championship. Texas has shown poise throughout. They had to win a game in overtime yesterday against Iowa State. Every time Baylor's cut into this lead, Texas has had an answer.
Yeah, and Alan Taylor's been tough. It's been her going to the basket, hitting big shots.
A foul on Aaliyah Moore. NaLyssa Smith will be at the free throw line when we return. The three-pointer by Jamie Asbury, making this one interesting. Yesterday in the semifinals, the 10th-ranked team in the country, Iowa State, was led by Ashley Jones with 33 points and 13 rebounds. The All-American candidate, a great day. And then Maddie Williams, the superstar for Oklahoma, also 33 points in the semifinals. The stars were shining bright. We had 4 players, including NaLyssa Smith, who's at the line, and Roy Harmon, each over 30 points in the semifinals. And now we've got a minute 32 to go for a champion to be crowned here in the Big 12.
Yeah, and everything right now is going through NaLyssa Smith, and she's, you just blink and all of a sudden she has 17 points.
In the first half, she had 5. She had foul trouble, she had the injury, but now in the second half, she's got 13 more, or 18 total.
I would look to see Baylor pick up a little bit. They need to put some pressure on, try to get some turnovers.
And a foul in the backcourt. Fouls to give for Baylor, so they commit the quick foul by Jaden Owens in the backcourt. That's just the second team foul, so you can see Nikki Collin deciding to use up some of those fouls to give.
Yeah, and right here, I know you want to foul, but try to get a steal, try to steal the ball inbounds, and then foul. And guess who it's going to go to? Harmon, probably.
And Vic Schaefer tells Roy Harmon, take your time. Basketball dribbling like the beating of your heart. Ebo, strong, but it's off Baylor, and Texas gets a fresh 30-second shot clock.
Yeah, it's a one and done. You've got to get a one and done. You've got to get that rebound.
They're going to go to the monitor to check on whose possession it is. The call on the court is Texas basketball.
Yeah, it looked to me that it was off of Baylor right here.
Ball on the floor is orange ball. Play under review.
Looks like Jaden Owens came and swung at it from behind. It looks like it's off Owens from Baylor. Let's see.
Ooh.
Well, it was the force of Owens' hand, but Warren's hand was between.
Right. It looks like Warren's. Yeah, Warren looked like she hit it. From the backside, it looked like Owens.
Well, and you see Jaden Owens like is swinging forward, but it's actually, it looks from this angle like it's off Warren.
Yeah, it does.
There, maybe a different angle here. Let's see.
Yeah, I like that other angle. It looks like it's off of Warren.
I mean, it's the propulsion of the hand by Jaden Owens, but it really looks like, that Warren's hand is between, and that is a good job by the officiating crew to go and review that, and they're saying Baylor basketball.
That's what I love about what the officials can do now, because that can change an outcome of a game.
Absolutely. So it's Baylor basketball, just under a minute to go in this championship final. Texas with a 7-point lead. And where do you go with your Baylor?
Well, you go to Alyssa Smith in a hurry.
She's being defended by Audrey Warren.
Well, Baylor's got to go here.
A lot of time ticking off the clock for Baylor. Alyssa Smith lines it up from 3. No. Jordan Lewis right there. Asbury way off the mark. Boy, just too quick out of her hands, and an empty possession for Baylor at a critical time. And Rory Harmon fouled by Asbury. That's her 4th foul.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the 4th team foul. So that's the last foul to give for Baylor. The next foul will send Texas to the free throw line.
yeah, Baylor's got to. You got to get a steal, and if not, foul quickly. But watch Harmon getting the ball. Yeah, she's
just so smart.
Yeah, I mean, I would get her the ball because of her quickness, her ability to handle the basketball. She still doesn't have any turnovers.
So once we crown a champion here at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, we'll get a chance to interview a couple of the winning player and coach. Could be Rory Harmon. But then the rest of the trophy presentation and the net cutting will be on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus to watch all the festivities afterwards.
And Brenda, this Harmon, let me say this again. That kid is going to play for 40 minutes and has yet to have a turnover.
We're going to take a quick 30-second break and be right back. Our Phillips 66 player of the game is Rory Harmon. She has played every minute of the last 2 games, 50 minutes against Iowa State. All of the minutes in this game, no turnovers.
I can't even. You know, you're a point guard running your team. You have played 2 games, 1 went into overtime, and you are yet to have a turnover. You know, she's 5'6", but she packs a big punch. I'm just, obviously, I'm a Roy Harmon fan.
30 points yesterday, 20 points today, and the biggest game of her young career so far. Coming out on this big stage to try to take Texas to its first Big 12 title since 2003. And here she comes out with 20 points, 0 turnovers, and Texas leads by 9 with 29.9 remaining. Now Baylor advances to the front court. Long pass over to Asbury. Asbury for 3. No, Alyssa Smith right there for the putback.
Nice, heads up.
Faru out in front of everybody. And Baylor, again, lets some precious seconds tick off the clock. They let some time wind down on that possession earlier that should have gotten quickly. Yeah. They've wasted some time here in the last minute.
Wasted some time, but you see Harmon just throws the ball ahead. And Nutharo, you know, most players would go shoot a layup. No, bring it back out, use the clock, force Baylor to foul.
Matharu makes the first free throw. Matharu, the transfer from Mississippi State, played for Vic Schaefer 1 year there. Transferred over to Texas, makes both free throws. The all Big 12 honorable mention selection puts Texas up by 9 with 16.1 remaining.
I didn't see this coming. I thought it would go down. The game would go down to the wire, but it just feels. It had a feel of Texas controlled this whole game. Just the tempo and everything about the game, Texas had their hands in.
Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Every Thursday, go all access with the Baylor men's and women's basketball teams. The documentary series Our Time gives you an unprecedented behind-the-scenes look at both programs with never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches. You can always watch previous episodes streaming on ESPN Plus. Sign up today at espnplus.com/Big 12 Now, and not the way that Baylor wanted this Big 12 championship final to go, but all the credit to Texas for the way they played this game.
Absolutely.
Alyssa Smith steps back, off the mark, out to Smith again. Rims in and out. Baylor has beaten Texas 13 times in a row, but not this time. Texas with the victory. Big 12 championship to Texas.
Oh, wow. Just awesome. I just feel the love for Texas right now.
It is the first championship title for the Longhorns since 2003.
Congratulations, Texas, and Vic Schaefer and his staff. They've done a great job. Texas was prepared. They stuck with the game plan. Wow, well deserved.
And Jody Conrad was the head coach of Texas in 2003 when they won their last tournament title. She is cheering on this program as they are champions once again.
Gosh. It just, I'm just smiling here. These kids worked hard. They play hard. Wow.
Roy Harmon led the way for Texas with 20 points to lead at 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And now let's go to Chris Budden on the court with Roy Harmon.
Roy, it's a team that swept you in the regular season. You knock them off today. What did it take?
What did it take?
Yeah.
It took Texas fight. That's what it took. That was all. Literally everybody had their heart in to win, and we did.
Took overtime yesterday, the fight today to win your first school tournament title since 2003. What has this week been like for you?
I don't even know. I could cry. This team deserves everything. Do you see that? They deserve everything. Man, I love my team, and you got to do what it takes for them.
I'll let you go celebrate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And the smile on that young woman's face says it all.
Well, her career's only just begun, and you just cannot be happier for her. And I love how much she loves her team. It's about team, and she shows it.
Vic Schaefer in there talking about Texas fight, leading this team in his second season to a Big 12 tournament title. Baylor won the regular season title, the 12th in a row for their program. They had won the last 3 tournament titles in a row, had Baylor, but it belongs to Texas this year, the 2022 Big 12 champions. Now Chris is standing by with Vic Schaefer.
Coach, can you take me into that huddle and what you told your team?
I can't hear you.
Can you take me into that last huddle right there and what you told your team?
We were switching everything. They obviously wanted to shoot the 3, but back here, this huddle, I just told them they absolutely played and dominated the game. I thought we won it from the tip. I thought we were the tougher team today. We pride ourselves on Texas fight, and it's just a special day for these kids, man. They are really, really special. And you saw it. The country saw it. how special they are.
What's it like to sit here and see the smiles on all their faces and celebrate?
That's why you do what you do in coaching. I mean, I serve an incredible God, and the flame that you saw in them today, there's no question where that came from. And I'm just telling you, it's why we do what we do in coaching. You don't win the game on paper. You don't win because something's happened long before we got here. You win the game because you prepare and you play your guts out. And that's how you win.
What has this girl meant to your program, Rory Hunter?
I tell you, she's the ultimate competitor. She takes no plays off. She plays both ends of the floor. I think the country's seen in the last couple days how special that freshman really is. If she's not in the talk of National Freshman of the Year, they need to get rid of the award because she is doggone special. She wills her team. And, hey, she's just a freshman.
The season's not over for you guys, but celebrate this one today. Congratulations.
Well, appreciate y'all. Praise the Lord, Knuckle Horns.
And how appropriate that Jody Conrad is down on the court celebrating with this team, the Naismith Hall of Fame coach that led Texas to their last Big 12 title in 2003, celebrating with this young team as they win a Big 12 championship. How special for them, Holly?
Well, Jody Conrad built that program, and Vic's just continuing on the tradition. And he said it. It was about heart. It was about effort. That's what his kids did. They stepped up. They hit big plays. They got big stops, and they went on the freshman. And I'm like, Vic, I've seen a lot of games, but this freshman is super, super special.
What a game for Texas. What a game for Rory Harmon, sure to be the most outstanding player of this Big 12 championship. The team is going to go move their name over on the bracket as every team has done. Texas is the 2022 Phillips 66 Big 12 champion. It's Selection Sunday. Can't wait to see what happens later today. For Holly Warlick, I'm Brenda Van Lingen saying so long from Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, where the final score is Texas 67, Baylor 58. Coming up next on ESPN2, UFC Unleashed, Fights of the Night winners. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.